Just before the dawn invited morning rays onto UCLA's sprawling campus, students witnessed a different kind of illumination, flashing police lights cutting through the pre-dawn darkness. What began weeks ago as a library sit-in over tuition hikes escalated into a night encapsulated by shouts and chaos as law enforcement moved in to dismantle the protest site. This clash is not unique to UCLA. Universities across the nation are becoming battlegrounds for wider socio-political conflicts, drawing attention to issues that simmer under the serene surface of academic institutions. The sudden intervention at UCLA has sparked a controversial discourse regarding the role of police at educational institutions and the intersection of academic freedom and lawful order. The recent unrest on campuses is rooted in a complex weave of escalating tuition fees, diminishing job prospects, post-graduation, and a general atmosphere of political volatility. At UCLA, what began as peaceful gatherings and discussions about academic policies and financial pressures slowly morphed into organized protests, demanding immediate administrative attention to rising tuition costs and perceived mismanagement. Not limited to UCLA, similar protests have flared up at universities across the country, each with unique triggers but bound by common themes such as affordability of education and transparency in administrative dealings. The nationwide spread of these protests points to a generational frustration simmering among young adults facing uncertain futures in an ever-competitive world. In these academic sanctuaries, students find themselves increasingly wrestling with the question of whether higher education is a privilege for the affluent or a fundamental right accessible to all. These debates gain intensity in light of administrative decisions perceived to favor infrastructure over instruction, causing students to question where their tuition fees are being channeled. The decision to deploy police forces at UCLA was met with stark resistance. As officers arrived to clear the protest, confrontations were inevitable. Witness accounts speak of a mostly peaceful protest turning tense as law enforcement used tear gas and riot shields in an attempt to disperse the crowd deemed unlawful by university officials. According to law enforcement, the action was a necessary response to ensure safety and restore order. However, many students felt that the use of police force was an excessive measure that stifled their right to peaceful assembly. Faculty members have also expressed discomfort, emphasizing that a militarized response to student protests is neither conducive to resolving the underlying issues, nor reflective of the university's educational mission. The events at UCLA and similar institutions have ignited a necessary debate on academic freedom, civil liberties, and the role of universities as spaces for critical discourse versus their obligations to maintain safety and operations. One broader implication is the potential chilling effect heavy-handed police tactics could have on free expression, particularly in educational settings where varied ideas and debates are supposed to flourish. On a socioeconomic level, these protests and the subsequent crackdowns reflect deeper societal divides and inequalities. They push the conversation about the affordability and value of higher education back into the public arena, urging a reevaluation of how educational policies align with the economic realities faced by today's youth. In conclusion, the unrest at UCLA serves as a stark reminder of the volatile intersection of education, politics, and economic pressures. As campuses reel from the tremors of these protests, society must confront the challenging questions they raise about equity, governance, and the very purpose of higher education in shaping future generations.